Far from the concrete jungle of Los Angeles, nestled in the verdant foothills of the city's outskirts, lay a sanctuary untouched by time, a tranquil oasis amidst the chaos. This was Keanu Reeves's go-to escape route, a routine motorcycle ride he often took to find solace from his demanding schedule and the relentless glare of the spotlight. Inside his helmet, the rhythmic hum of his engine became a comforting backdrop, allowing his mind to quiet and find peace. He usually sought out secluded, almost forgotten trails, those barely visible on maps, craving hidden nooks where he could immerse himself in nature and his own thoughts. Solitude for him wasn't a burden, but a form of meditation, a way to recalibrate his inner compass. That day, the sky was cloudless, and the sun's brilliant golden rays filtered through the trees, dancing on the forest floor. Keanu's mind, too, found clarity in this serene environment. As he navigated a winding, dusty path, his gaze was drawn to an unfamiliar, yet strangely captivating sight partially obscured by the dense foliage. In the distance, deep within the thick growth of trees, almost swallowed by the vegetation, a dilapidated old cabin stood. Its wooden walls were weathered, paint peeled in long strips, and broken shingles hung precariously from the roof. Shattered glass in the windows and grayed wooden siding whispered tales of long abandonment, a testament to time's relentless passage. Climbing vines and wild weeds had embraced the structure, as if nature itself was reclaiming it, holding it in a silent, suffocating embrace. Somehow, this derelict structure resonated with Keanu, striking a chord within him, perhaps a reflection of his own inner solitude, or merely an invitation from a mystery waiting to be unraveled. He parked his motorcycle a few meters from the cabin, just off the path, nestled among the fallen leaves. He cut the engine, allowing the quiet of the moment to envelop him. The only sounds now were the distant chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves dancing with the wind, and the steady beat of his own heart. This symphony of nature made the city's commotion fade into oblivion. His boots crunched on dry leaves and twigs as he walked towards the cabin. As he approached, an unexpected figure emerged from the shadows. An elderly, one-eyed, golden-furred, mixed-breed golden retriever. The dog stood motionless right in front of the cabin door, like a vigilant sentinel, its muscles tense, its gaze fixed on Keanu. Its fur was matted, some patches thinning, and its paws looked weary from countless journeys. Yet its stance remained resolute, as if defending a last hope, stubbornly refusing to yield. When it noticed Keanu, it let out a low growl from its chest, baring its discolored teeth slightly, and slowly advanced as if trying to ward him off from the cabin. This unexpected, though not aggressive, warning made Keanu pause for a moment. This was neither the typical behavior of a pet nor a wild animal. He couldn't comprehend the dog's surprisingly protective demeanor. Why was it so fiercely guarding this desolate cabin, as if it held an invaluable treasure within? What could possibly be of value in this wilderness? Initially just surprised, Keanu soon noticed the profound loyalty and indescribable sadness in the dog's other eye. That eye carried the weight of years, blending the pain of the past with the hope of an elusive expectation. Shadows of an unsolved puzzle lay within its gaze. It was as if the animal had been waiting for someone tirelessly for years, as if it hadn't lost hope despite the heavy burden of time and abandonment. This posture further captivated Keanu, planting a seed of inquiry in his mind. Who are you, my friend? And who are you waiting for in this desolate place? The dog stood steadfastly, like a guardian before the cabin, every muscle taut, every breath a quiet defiance, its eyes never leaving Keanu. Keanu removed his helmet and placed it on his motorcycle. He slowly crouched down, meeting the dog's gaze at eye level. With calm and deliberate movements, he tried to gain its trust, keeping his voice soft and low, "Hey, buddy," he whispered. "I don't mean you any harm, I'm just curious." In the dog's demeanor, Keanu sensed that this cabin was more than just a shelter. It held a deep secret. Within that dilapidated structure, an unseen, unbreakable bond existed, perhaps even stronger than the cabin itself, a bond that time could not erode. The dog's silent vigil ignited Keanu's curiosity, compelling him to explore further. What he didn't know was this. What this loyal dog had been waiting for all these years was not just a person. It was also a symbol of an unforgotten tragedy and overlooked heroism hidden within the cabin. The dog was waiting for the return of a lost little girl's memory concealed within the cabin. Keanu had stumbled into the very heart of this mystery, and instinctively he knew he had to unravel it, as if fate itself had brought him here, to this desolate cabin and to the side of this faithful dog. It was not a coincidence, but a calling. After sensing the dog's initial hostile demeanor had subsided, Keanu slowly approached it, this time with a gentler, more understanding energy. He crouched down, bringing himself to its eye level. "Hello," Keanu whispered, keeping his voice soft and reassuring. "Why are you so upset with me, buddy? Why are you guarding this cabin? What's inside?" Around the dog's neck hung a rusty but still legible and worn identification tag. Its edges were corroded, but the letters were still discernible. It simply read Rusty, as if even this simple name whispered a story, a symbol of belonging. Keanu looked into Rusty's one open eye and spoke to him softly. "Hello, Rusty," he said in a whisper, gently extending his hand, palm open towards him. "Are you okay? Have you been alone all this time? Who are you? What are you waiting for here?" Rusty sniffed Keanu's outstretched hand carefully, then timidly nudged his nose against it, his tension easing slightly. With a paw, he nudged Keanu's hand, as if approving of this gentle touch, offering a sign of trust. His tail wagged almost imperceptibly at first, then settled into a more pronounced rhythm, as if he had made a decision, ready to share a secret with Keanu, inviting him inside. Keanu noticed Rusty's every step leading him towards the cabin. It was as if Rusty was inviting him inside to see something, a silent but persistent invitation, like a guide expecting him to follow. Rusty walked towards the cabin's crooked, unhinged wooden door and tried to push it open with his nose, eager to enter. Keanu pushed open the rusty door, and a faint, dusty light filtered inside, somewhat dispersing the interior darkness and revealing the silhouettes of old belongings. The inside was a mess. Overturned wooden chairs, torn old blankets, and dust-covered items were the remnants of a past life. The remains of a small broken table and 2 chairs suggested this had once been a simple yet functional living space. Every corner reeked of profound solitude and forgottenness, as if the ghosts of the past clung to the walls. Keanu stepped inside, his boots crunching on dry leaves and debris. In a corner of the room, covered in cobwebs and a thick layer of dust, stood a rusty metal box. But then, Keanu's gaze was suddenly fixed on something else. Hanging on the wall, a brightly colored drawing, done in childish handwriting, still glowing even in the pale sunlight. The drawing depicted the cabin, a large dog, very much resembling Rusty, and a small girl holding hands with smiling faces, like a family portrait. The girl's hair was bright yellow, her eyes blue. She looked like a daisy gazing at the sun, embodying innocence and joy. The simplicity and happiness in the drawing warmed Keanu's heart, yet at the same time it evoked an indescribable sadness. He wondered how such pure love could have been lost. Below the picture, written in large, childlike letters, were the words, "My and Rusty's home." This inscription cried out a child's pure and unconditional love, a dream of a home, but it also evoked a vast emptiness and a lost presence. Keanu realized this drawing was far more than a simple child's sketch. It was a clue to unraveling the secret of the cabin and Rusty, the beginning of an overlooked story. Rusty looked at Keanu, whimpering softly, his tail wagging more emphatically, as if pleading with him to please understand, impatience gleaming in his eyes. With his single eye, he looked from the drawing to Keanu, encouraging him to tell the rest of the story, as if waiting for something, with an almost imploring gaze. This drawing profoundly affected Keanu. Was this cabin merely an abandoned structure, or was it the silent witness to a tragedy that had waited years to be uncovered? And for all these years, who had Rusty been waiting for with such unwavering loyalty? Keanu felt that every corner of this cabin held a secret. Every speck of dust, every crack whispered a memory. He knew he couldn't leave without unveiling this mystery. It was as if fate had led him here, and this story would find meaning in his own life, perhaps offering an opportunity to confront his own losses. Keanu emerged from the cabin with Rusty, his mind swirling with questions, attempting to piece together every clue like a detective. He was determined to find out who the girl in the drawing was, the one Rusty had guarded so faithfully. His first step was to drive to the nearest small town. It was a place where time seemed to move slowly, where everyone knew everyone, and every corner bore traces of the past, every face hiding a story. Keanu frequented the local coffee shops, bought groceries at the general store, chatted with the elderly residents, and pored over faded newspapers. He politely asked everyone about a missing girl and a golden retriever. Initially, few offered answers. The sensitivity of the topic was evident. The sadness and silence in their eyes indicated a deep-seated pain. However, Keanu's patience, sincerity, and respectful demeanor gradually warmed the hearts of some older residents. Among them, Miss Collins, one of the town's oldest inhabitants and a keeper of local history, decided to help Keanu. At Miss Collins' house, amidst the dusty pages of an old album, Keanu's eyes caught a photograph, a younger, more vibrant version of the girl from the cabin drawing. Miss Collins, her eyes misting over, began to recount the story. It was the tale of little Chloe, a bright, energetic, blonde-haired girl who had disappeared years ago while camping with her family in the area, never to be found again. Chloe, full of boundless energy and a joyful spirit, was a beacon of light. Her parents had done everything to find her, hiring search parties and putting up countless flyers, but all efforts proved futile. Miss Collins explained that Chloe's family was utterly devastated by her disappearance, their lives shattered, and they eventually had to leave the area, unable to bear the constant reminder of their loss. Rusty was the family dog, Chloe's most loyal friend, always by her side like a shadow, inseparable. It was known that he had been with her on the day she went missing. The little girl's desperate screams had been heard, echoing through the forest, but no one had reached her in time. A massive search and rescue operation had lasted for days, involving local authorities and volunteers, but the depths of the forest had claimed Chloe into its eternal silence. Everyone had given up hope, but Rusty's unwavering vigil at that cabin became both a painful reminder and a strange symbol of hope for the local community. Some called him crazy, unable to understand his persistent loyalty, while others admired his unwavering dedication, his story having spread by word of mouth through the quiet town. Keanu, eager to share this information with Rusty, returned to the cabin. Every detail he learned deepened the meaning of the drawing in the cabin and Rusty's unwavering weight. Now, every brushstroke, every line, held a profound significance. It whispered Chloe's hopes, dreams, and final moments. Rusty wagged his tail rapidly when he saw Keanu, his eyes reflecting that familiar sadness and anticipation, but also a glimmer of expectation, as if awaiting an explanation. Keanu sat on the ground and began to tell Rusty Chloe's story. "Rusty," he said softly, his voice full of empathy. "I researched Chloe's disappearance. People never found her. She's been missing for years. I'm so sorry, buddy." The dog listened silently, tilting his head slightly as if understanding every word, absorbing Keanu's every syllable. His gaze was fixed on Keanu's face, not moving for a single moment, hanging on every word. Keanu realized that what Rusty had been waiting for all these years was not just Chloe's return, but also for that cabin to remain their special place. The place where they had played as children, embarked on secret adventures, and perhaps even made solemn vows of friendship. The drawing in the cabin was proof of Chloe's pure happiness while sketching her own home, her own sanctuary, and her unconditional love for Rusty. However, Chloe's tragic disappearance had cast an eternal shadow of sorrow over this home and Rusty's vigil, with hope dwindling day by day, leaving only a glowing ember of faithfulness in Rusty's heart. Keanu felt that Rusty wasn't just waiting for Chloe. He was faithfully guarding her last memories, preserving her essence within the cabin. Rusty had become a silent guardian, protecting the spirit and presence Chloe had left behind. It was as if he had sworn to never let even the last breath of a lost child be forgotten. Waiting in the same spot, with the same hope, burning like a candle, casting light around him, a steadfast beacon in the wilderness. This was more than just a story of loss. It was an epic tale of unconditional love and unwavering loyalty. Keanu's heart was heavy with the weight of the burden this faithful dog had carried for years. He knew this story couldn't remain solely between them. It had to be honored. It had to be told to the world, shared with others who needed to hear of such profound devotion. He had to do something, both for Rusty and for Chloe's memory, and perhaps this story could offer a beacon of hope to others, rekindling lost aspirations and reminding them of the enduring power of connection. Keanu realized this narrative was far more than a rescue mission. It was a quest for meaning for himself, a profound need for connection, a task that could fill the voids in his own life. Keanu Reeves knew that Rusty's story was far more than that of an ordinary dog. It was an unwavering testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the loyalty of animals, and the enduring power of hope, even in the face of loss. When he heard this story, Keanu found an echo within his own inner journey, resonating with his own experiences of loss and solitude, with the emptiness in his life. He decided to take a monumental step to share this story with the world and to honor the memories of Rusty and Chloe. He could never allow this story to fade away, to be forgotten. It needed to be revived, a legacy preserved, a lesson spread for generations to come. First, he meticulously cleared the area around the cabin. He collected debris, trimmed the thorny bushes, and removed the unsightly clutter, allowing the area to breathe again. Just within a few days, the abandoned space transformed into a small, nascent garden. Wild weeds gave way to carefully planted flowers and clean earth, a symbol of renewal. He then made the cabin a safer and more secure place for Rusty to stay. He repaired holes in the roof, reinforced the broken door, and even placed a soft, warm bed, water, and food bowls inside for Rusty, ensuring his comfort and well-being. He carefully framed Chloe's colorful drawing and hung it inside the cabin, preserving its innocence and joy. Next to it, he tenderly placed a few of Chloe's favorite toys, as if a small child still lived there, leaving behind a tangible sense of her presence. A tiny teddy bear, a faded toy car, and a small music box that, when wound, played a faint, sweet melody. Every detail brought Chloe's presence back to life, a silent tribute. After that, he consulted with a veterinarian to arrange comprehensive health checkups for Rusty, taking on all the necessary care, including special medications and nutritious food for the elderly dog. Rusty was no longer hungry or alone. Though his body was more comfortable, the waiting in his eyes persisted, carrying a deep connection to the past. This was like his life's purpose, but now he seemed more at peace, his burden shared. Keanu then decided to take an even bigger step. He launched a widespread fundraising campaign to clear the abandoned areas in the region and transform them into Hope Parks, where children and animals could safely spend time, fostering joy and connection. Using his own name and resources, he gave the project immense momentum. He leveraged his public platform, garnering significant media attention. He reached out to celebrity friends, made public appeals for donations on social media, and generated a massive buzz online. The campaign received far more support than anticipated. People from all corners of the world donated generously. Funds poured in like rain, and volunteers flocked to contribute. People of all ages eager to help transform neglected spaces into vibrant community hubs. The first park was to be established in the forest area where the cabin stood. It would feature extensive playgrounds, sturdy benches for quiet contemplation, well-maintained walking paths, and ample green space. A place where people of all ages could enjoy themselves. A true community asset. In a prominent corner of the park, a small but meaningful memorial corner named Rusty and Chloe's Garden would be built. Here, Chloe's drawing of the cabin, her small shoes, her favorite teddy bear, and a bronze statue of Rusty reflecting his loyal stance would be placed. This monument would ensure the memory of the lost girl and the faithful dog's vigil would be passed down through generations, a timeless tribute to their bond. The monument would not just be a memorial to loss, but also a symbol of hope and unconditional love, representing the unique bond between humans and animals, inspiring all who visited to cherish such connections. On the opening day, Keanu, with Rusty faithfully by his side, stood in Rusty and Chloe's garden. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the scene, and the new park echoed with the joyful laughter of children. A sound of pure innocence and happiness. Volunteers and local residents bustled about, working in every corner of the park, smiling with happy faces. A sense of pride was evident on everyone's face, a shared accomplishment. Rusty, now more vibrant and healthy, moved about joyfully despite his age, his steps more spry. He gently interacted with the children who approached him, his tail wagging constantly, almost as if life had been rekindled within him. However, from time to time he would glance at Chloe's picture in the memorial statue and at his own miniature sculpture, as if momentarily reconnecting with the past, offering a silent greeting, and that melancholic sparkle would appear in his eyes, a poignant reminder of his long vigil. Keanu, observing this, gently stroked Rusty's head, his eyes filled with deep affection. "Look, Rusty," he said softly, his voice trembling slightly with emotion. "We haven't forgotten Chloe. Her memory lives on here with you. You're not alone anymore, never." Rusty looked up at Keanu, gratitude shining in his one eye, as if he felt truly understood for the first time. His burden shared. He wagged his tail slowly. This time, the wag held a peace never seen before, as if his soul had finally found rest, his long wait acknowledged and honored. That day, even if Rusty's vigil didn't completely end, Chloe's memory was no longer alone. This park, a testament to their enduring bond, would be an eternal echo of their silent stories, a legend to be passed down through generations, inspiring countless others. Keanu realized that this project was a turning point not just for Rusty and Chloe, but also for himself. The story spread globally through the media, reaching millions of hearts, reminding people of the power of hope and compassion. Through the unwavering loyalty of a dog, Keanu had not only brought to light the story of a child, but also one of humanity's most fundamental bonds. This was the story of silent heroism that left a profound mark on Keanu's own life. A beacon of hope, demonstrating the eternity of a bond and the transformative power of the human spirit. And from that day forward, Keanu Reeves's motorcycle route changed. He no longer simply sought solitude. He now frequently visited Rusty and Chloe's garden, spending time with Rusty, watching the children's laughter. This park, born from tragedy and transformed by kindness, had become a sanctuary for him too, a place of reflection, a constant reminder that the good side of humanity always exists, a testament to the enduring power of love and connection. Keanu never forgot how these two unexpected beings in his life had propelled him further on his own inner journey, teaching him profound lessons about loyalty, grief, and the quiet heroism found in everyday acts of kindness. This was not just a celebrity's tale, but an epic story illustrating how hope and love endure beyond time, forever etched into the landscape of a quiet park and the hearts of those it touched.